Hey YouTube, Joshua C here. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to change your oil in your D16Y8 Honda Civic. So, particular car here is a 2000 Honda Civic EX, but this should apply to most Hondas, 4 cylinders in general. So, let's get into it. The things you're going to need is first you need a means to elevate the vehicle, so that's either via a lift or jack and jack stands. You need some gloves, optional. Obviously you need the appropriate motor oil and the appropriate oil filter. In this particular case for the D16Y8, it's a 17mm oil drain plug, so you could either use a 17mm socket with a ratchet, or you could utilize a combination wrench such as this 17mm, and then obviously you need some means to drain the oil as well as containers to put the waste oil, and importantly, a piece of cardboard so you're not making a mess. Alright, let's rock and roll. Okay, so now that the car is elevated and on jack stands, just a tip, this is not mandatory, but you could also pull up on the dipstick and or remove the oil cap, and that'll allow the oil to drain faster. Another tip that you could do is allow the car to get up to operating temperature, which I did before this video. So I'm going to lay down the oil pan and have my weapons of choice, my 17mm combination wrench to remove the drain plug. Okay. I'll crack loose this drain plug. Okay. That was easy, but odds are yours are probably going to be tough as heck. And if that's the case and you're using a shorter wrench, let me just say that I would definitely prefer using the box end for higher torque, as you have a higher chance or higher probability of rounding it off and slipping, especially with this the non-fluted plain open end. So use the box end, and if it's too tough, get to a longer handle. And if you're using a ratchet, switch to a longer handle, and or if this is all you got, i.e. the small one, then use a cheater pipe to extend. Long story short, leverage is your friend. Okay, so now I'm going to drain it. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so I removed the drain plug, and here you guys can see it. So now the next step is to remove the oil filter. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so if you guys are doing it on the ground like me, I'm left-handed, so I'm blessed that I could just reach up. So you're going to crack it loose, and you're just gonna let it drip, and just have your pan ready, and just let it do its thing. Now if you're on a time crunch, then obviously change your game plan accordingly, but I'm gonna let that drip, and when it stops I'm gonna remove it completely. Okay, after a little patience, you should be able to spin it off without making a mess. And there you go. Nice and easy. Alright, I'll see you guys at the next step. Okay, after the filter is removed, what you'd want to do is get a rag and wipe the mating surface where the oil filter butts up against the block. As always, when installing a new part, you want to verify with a functioning old part that they correspond good enough. Obviously, the threads are just something you're going to have to find out, but another thing you could look for is just look for overall seal diameter and body width. So check those dimensions and see if they check out. And another thing I like to do is pre-fill the oil filter. So I'll show you how I do that. Okay? So what I do is I fill the inside, and another thing I like to do is I roll it. And that's just to make sure that all the pleats inside the filter are saturated. And as you can see, it'll absorb a substantial amount, and I'll fill just a little bit more because I know that this is going to be placed perpendicular to the deck. So just exercise a little bit of logic in that and just fill up just to saturate the pleats. After pre-filling it, you could also run a thin film of clean oil around the main seal, and now that the block has been cleaned, the mating surface, these two are ready to meet. Okay, so your new oil filter should be placed on, and I'd tighten it just snug. They don't need to be welded on. Another thing with this drain plug, you're supposed to replace this crush washer. I highly recommend you do so. Shame on me that I'm reusing this, but do as I say, not as I do in this case. What you want to do is snug this up, and I'm going to do that right now. Now I'm going to tighten it up. Cool. Ready to rock. Okay, so now that the car is grounded, what you want to do is obviously prepare the oil. And you could put the first 3 quarts in. I'll give you the specs down below. But you could pour in the first 3 quarts and then trickle in the rest. And just keep checking and make sure you don't overfill. Simple as that. Okay, so you guys are going to keep filling it until you push it in all the way till you finally check it. It should be those 2 marks on the dipstick is 1 quart. The bottom mark being the low and the upper mark being the upper bound. So what I like to do is fill it as close as I can while not exceeding the upper mark. Mind you, if you slightly overfill it, don't fret, because what we're going to do is we're going to run the engine probably for around 10 seconds. That'll circulate it, fill the remainder of the oil filter, and it's going to adjust those values, so you're going to have to recheck it anyway. Okay, so let's do that right now. Okay, so I'll show you in real time. How much it deduced. Looks like it swallowed up half a quart. So I'm just gonna do the same procedure, the same protocol, and slowly fill it up into that max point and check for leaks. You should be on your way. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. So I don't see anything. That's good. Obviously, if you see a puddle, stop. So I'm going to fill it up again. And okay, YouTube, that should conclude it. Hopefully you guys do good luck on your guys' endeavor. I wish you the best. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. You guys take care.